Is Tunic actually the best game ever? In today's video, we're going to delve into it and find out together. Tunic is an asymmetric action-adventure game that throws you into a mysterious land where you don't even know the written language. If you've played and loved older games from Nintendo's The Legend of Zelda series, or perhaps From Software's Dark Souls, you'll feel right at home here. There's almost no hand-holding or explanation for how to play or what your objectives are, but through exploring the world, you'll come across hand-drawn pages of the game's manual which slowly reveal the actions available to you, your primary goals, maps of the world, and much more. Tunic's story is hidden behind a veil of mystery and player-driven discovery. It's explained through a combination of environmental clues, the manual pages, and a handful of cutscenes throughout your adventure. From the beginning to the end, you'll find yourself having more questions than answers, and that's not a bad thing at all. New discoveries and secrets hiding around every corner will keep you engaged all the way through your adventure. To say more on it would enter spoiler territory, and this game is best played as blind as possible to get the full experience. The gameplay is very much like a Zelda/Dark Souls mix, in that you quickly get yourself a sword and a shield, along with a handful of additional gear like bombs. There's checkpoints that act similar to bonfires, and recover your health to full while respawning all the enemies once again. There's also a stamina bar that depletes from using actions like a dodge roll or blocking with your shield. If your character happens to be defeated, then you'll leave behind an ethereal version of yourself which holds onto some of your currency that you can go back and collect after respawning. The combat itself can be a bit chaotic with multiple enemies at once. The targeting system won't always choose the optimal enemy for your current situation, and you may end up facing your shield away from an incoming projectile rather than towards it. Despite the targeting hiccups on multiple targets, it does work quite well with single targets or smaller groups of foes, making those fights all feel fair and well balanced. Enemies all have visual and audio cues to let you know what attack they're winding up with, allowing you enough time to react and dodge or counterattack. I did die several times to a handful of bosses while only dying a couple of times to others, but it was clear that each death was justified and caused by my own mistakes or greed in trying to dispatch my foe too quickly. Tunic has a beautiful aesthetic to it, with a very colourful palette. It looks a lot like the remake of Zelda Link's Awakening with the cartoony style. It ran wonderfully and there were no frame drops encountered throughout my whole playthrough. Even when the screen was full of enemies or particle effects from intense boss fights, it still kept up just fine at a consistent 60 FPS. And the soundtrack by Lifeformed and Janna's Queen is a magnificent 60 tracks that fit perfectly with each section of the game. The boss themes get intense and hectic, the overworld theme is tranquil and mysterious. There's just so much to love about listening to it. I've even had the tracks playing in my free time while away from the game because they're just that nice as background music. In conclusion, I would say Tunic is not the best game ever, but it's certainly one of the most fun and charming games I've played in recent years. There's always new discoveries to be made, secrets hidden within further secrets, and plenty of story lore to uncover. Completion of the game's story took me about 12.5 hours, and overall I would rate it an 8 out of 10. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoy this content then make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below letting me know if you think it's the best game ever or not. Thanks guys, I'll see you on the next one.